Alright, so for number 1, the first thing that I did was I made a point at 4, 3, since I found the origin was here, and this would be the midpoint on Main Street where the ice cream shop has to go. And then I know that it has to be 4 blocks away from home, so I made 2 different triangles, one right there and one there. And since it has to be 4 blocks away, the hypotenuse is equal to 4, and then the height of these triangles is equal to 3. I then used the Pythagorean theorem to find out that y on this line is equal to radical 7. I then used the distance formula and I plugged in the numbers that I had. I know that the x values have to equal 4 since it has to be on Main Street. And so for the answers I got, the first location it could be is 4, 5, and 65 hundredths, and then the second location would be 4 and then 35 hundredths. For number 2, there are only 5 platonic solids, and a regular hexagon cannot be a platonic solid because it has to have at least 3 faces that meet at one point, or else it would be open or flat. And then the sum of the internal angles must be less than 360 degrees, because if it is equal to 360 degrees, then the shape would be flat. So if you were to try it with a regular hexagon, you would multiply the angle measurement by 3, because it has to have at least 3 faces, and it is equal to 360 degrees. So it cannot be a platonic solid because it will be flat. For the third one, there is enough information. It is a pyramid because in order to be a prism, it has to have a even number of vertices, and this has an odd number. So given these 2 choices, it has to be a pyramid. And then for number 4, this is the drawing that I created. Alright, so for number 5, the first thing that I did was I found the volume of the cube, and I then set I plugged in the numbers that I had with the volume formula to find the area of the base, and since I know that the height of that was 3 hundredths, because that is how much it rose whenever it went into her drink, so this is the area of the base. And then I used, to find the side length, since that was the area, I used the area of a triangle, and I plugged in the numbers that I had. And since it has to be an equilateral triangle, we know that if this is, the sides are x, and the height has to be x radical 3. So by plugging in those numbers and simplifying, I got that the side length of the triangular base was equal to 17 and 76 hundredths centimeters. And then for the surface area, I got the area of the base, and I added that to 3 times the area of the rectangles, since in our shape there are 3. And there's only one of the area of the base, because since it is a cup, there's only one base, there is no top to it. So by plugging in those numbers and adding them together, I got that the surface area of the glass is 775 and 78 centimeters squared. And then for the volume of the prism, I used the volume formula and I plugged in the numbers that I had. So the volume of the triangular prism is 1,638 and 36 centimeters squared. For number 6, the relationship between the the cylinder and the sphere is that the sphere is 2/3 of a cylinder. So to find the surface area, I multiply 2/3 by the formula for a cylinder, and then I simplified it to find that the surface area of a sphere is 4 pi r squared. And then for the volume, I got the volume of a sphere multiplied by the 2/3, and I also simplified it to get that the volume of a sphere is equal to 4/3 pi r cubed.